Hey guys, today's gonna be a little bit of a different video. I've been playing a lot of the Blood Hunt mode, and I have a few thoughts, especially since I played a lot of the Zombies mode. So that's kind of what I want to get into today. So, I mean, the first thing I want to talk about are all the good things. First thing is, I do like leveling up. I think leveling up in Blood Hunt is fun. It was cool that they changed it from level 40 to level 60, but I mean, that's basically all the positive things I have to say about leveling up. The other thing I do like is they added more nightmare levels. I think adding more nightmare levels is cool. Before it was just nightmare 1 through 4, and having people feel like there's way more to progress to or to work towards, I think is a good thing. They added some new traits. They added like Jeff's ability to split into 3 streams. I think that's cool. Like that one and some of the new ones. A lot of the bosses or like even the map and like story design, I think is pretty cool. Like if you do the Kingpin like secret boss stuff, it's like 14 different rounds and like a bunch of different areas. So I like the story, I like the maps, I like what they did with the bosses. Right now they have 4 bosses. They have Kingpin, they have Dracula, they have Cap Wolf, and Ratatoskr. I like them all though. I think they're all really unique and interesting in their design and how they play. The map as well, I think it's cool. After level, I don't remember, like Nightmare 20 or I don't know, like Nightmare 1, after like the extremes, you start doing just 5 at a time, like 5 rounds at a time, and it's way better, I think, better than the 20 rounds, like all in one. But after also the map changes. It changes to like a random set of any of the places you visit, minus the Avengers Tower. I do want the Avengers Tower. I think that would be pretty cool. Besides that, that's basically it. I enjoy the leveling up. I think it's cool. The trades and some of the new traits, the maps and the characters, and that's basically it. Everything else is like I have an issue with. So now we can get into the bads. For me, I feel like I need to be max level to really experience the game, because if I don't have all traits unlocked, then I'm not really experiencing the game to its full potential. So for me, as much as it is fun to level up, leveling up isn't like the end game. It's part of the end game. It's like when the game starts. To me, that's when I heard like there was level 60 or there's a cap. Even though they did add some new traits, and I think it's cool that they added Jeff's new trait of like the splitting into 3, they gutted like everything else because they got rid of cards. Because traits are now like the #1 thing. Well, not traits, but because traits are the only way to get guaranteed boost. I'll talk about armor later. But because of the guaranteed boost that the traits do are minimal, it's actually not too worth it to like level up to 60, or like level 60 doesn't really, it doesn't mean much. It doesn't mean as much because for the previous zombies mode, you got to max level 40. And that's it. You were done. You just have to keep grinding and try and learn how to build properly and learn how to play properly. Now, even if you get max level and know like what all the bosses' moves do and everything, it does not matter because it's all armor based. I haven't really gotten to armor, but I think armor is what's ruining this experience for me. That's even without like some of the bosses. Like I talk about the bosses, like some of the things I don't like is Kingpin's ability to one shot. I do think it's kind of cool that he has a stun in the Kamehameha, but his chrono explosion or something, it literally, like, if you don't blow it up, like, you just die. Like, no character should have lifesteal, which is what Dracula has, and no character should have like a one-shot explosion unless it's their final move, right? I think with Wanda it made sense because she exploded at the end, you know, at the last 5,000 health or whatever, the last 5% of her health, 10%. That's when she would explode, and it's like, okay, now you really have to do damage or you won't win. But also it was at level 40 and everyone was basically at the same level. If you weren't at level 40 on Nightmare 4, you basically weren't going to beat it. Now you can be level 60 at level 60, and if your armor is trash, you won't beat it at all. The card system is gutted, and so are the trades. Like, yes, they added some of the cards as traits, but not every card got added as a trait, and some of the cards that did get added as traits aren't even that good. So the builds are completely different, right? An example is with Jeff. Jeff had Gnashing Waters, which is something that gave like 200% bonus damage to his primary fire, and now they just completely got rid of it. It just doesn't exist in the game. You get like a 60% boost and a triple spray, but something even similar or something like a lot less common and maybe not as impactful, but it does have impact, is the fire rate. There was a card before that gave you increased fire rate, and that card just does not exist anymore, and there's no way to increase your fire rate besides like the 3 traits, and it only limits you to whatever that percentage is. So before, when you could get 50 cards or whatever, let's say something realistic like 5 cards or 6 cards of the same thing, you'd already pass what the trait is right now. So everything's a lot more gutted than it used to be. I keep using the word gutted. Like some of the old effects still exist, but they're not as good as they were before. Oh, the other thing too is that Jeff can't pierce anymore. They removed his ability to pierce, so now he only can go through like 8 to 10 enemies. And there's no way to upgrade that. Before, it was just completely unlimited, and that's it, and you could just keep going however you want. But now, you can only pierce through a certain amount of enemies, so he's just, like, overall weaker. The Nightmare system is cool in theory, but it falls apart when you actually comes down to do it, because it's just all based on armor. Before, you leveled up, you picked your traits, and then you amplified the traits and attributes you got with your cards. Before, the cards were meant as an amplifier. They weren't meant as a simple choice, a choice that you can ignore. It was like, no, it was part of the game. So now that the cards are just all gutted and don't exist anymore, it's all based on your traits, or the final thing is the armor. The thing that I've avoided talking about like this whole video is because the armor system is the reason why everything else is gutted. If you think about it, it's all because of the armor. So even the best setup at Nightmare 70, 80 is still going to be unwinnable without the right armor. The traits provide minimal scaling as opposed to the armor. Like if you look at the armor or the health based in this, you can buy all the health and one piece of armor will just give you 1,400 health. So it's like, why would I spend all these trait points on useless health when I could just get one armor that will do exactly the same thing? So you can have the perfect build, but past like level 80, without the armor, you're just not going to do anything. So anything past level 80 just becomes armor, like luck based. If you don't have the perfect armor to beat level 80, or even on level 80 get the perfect armor to go to 90, 91, 95, 96, you're just not going to beat it. It's not a matter of, oh, well, if I build this right, or if I know these moves, or if I know this boss's move, then I can proceed and I can go to the next level and I'll be rewarded for my skill. It's no. Well, it's first, do you have the armor necessary to beat this level? Yes or no? And if the answer is no, then you're just gonna lose. You're just gonna lose. There's no winning. If you don't have the armor, you're just gonna lose. Also, it caps at 60, so your max level is 60, your armor caps at 60. You never scale your health. Your armor never scales. You can never upgrade for a better armor. You can never upgrade your armor. There's so many issues. So then, like at level 60, once you have like even a gold level 60 armor, but you can't beat level 70, let's say, or 65, there's nothing to do. It's repeat the same level endlessly, hoping for that one piece of gear that's 1% better that hopefully will help you beat the next level or help you beat the same one that you're stuck on. There's no strategy that changes. There's no learning curve. There's no meaningful decision making. All you do is boot it up, play how you played previously, and hope you get lucky. Before with the cards, I would reroll. There were still certain ones you can get, like you can get Gnashing Waters off the rip, you can get attack interval off the rip, you can get lifesteal off the rip. There's ways to build towards something that was like a viable build that isn't based off of 100% RNG. Like it was RNG, but you had like 8 different cards you can start with that maybe later on in the run you can build everything else. Like say I got Gnashing Waters, which is, it gives 200% like bonus basic attack damage. Say I got like 3 of those off the rip, but I didn't have any lifesteal. Lifesteal was really, really important in the previous Nightmares. So if I didn't have lifesteal, sometimes the run would be over if you have 0 lifesteal, but I wasn't going to just give up off the rip when I got Gnashing Waters like 3 times. I was going to continue the run and then hope I get lifesteal later. Now, if I don't have any lifesteal, or if my base health or block rate is already low enough, or my damage is too low, that's it. I'm cooked. I'm just going to keep dying over and over and over again, and there's literally nothing I can do but go to a lower difficulty. But there's no progress. Even on the lower difficulty, what am I going to do? Just kill the zombies and hope for a better armor item. Previously, it was like, okay, well, I got bad cards, but hopefully I could... Next round, I'll save it and I'll get better cards. That doesn't happen. It's not happening. The last thing I guess I could say, minus the armor being heavily, or the game being heavily reliant on armor, is that the player experience is also kind of awful. Like, it's even worse. So there's more opportunities to ruin the game for somebody else. Before, if I booted up like a public, I could probably carry everyone in the game by myself. Like, no help, no nothing. Just, even if they died every single time, I could still do it alone. And this one, you just can't. You just don't have enough damage to do it alone, which is so annoying. It's like, okay, so I'm max level. I know what the bosses do. I know how they play. I know what their moves do, but I just don't have the damage to beat him. There's no amount of skill that can get me more damage. It's just, oh, play more, which is, I think, annoying. But also, because of like the way the nightmare levels work, and because it's not just 4, and like I'm helping somebody level up to level 40 and beat Nightmare 4. Like I used to be able to carry people who weren't even level 40 on Nightmare 4 in the previous one. Now I can't. I can barely even carry somebody who's my level, or who's a little bit who's like level 60 at like level 70. It's like way harder. Before, when people didn't get like a good run, or they saw like everyone else was under level, people would leave. Right now, I don't see people leaving. I see people were going to a rank or a nightmare level that's way above what they can do, and then just hoping that people can carry them through, and then they aren't actually helping or benefiting the team in any way. I had a game where, or not game, I had like an hour on stream where like for an hour straight I was trying to do level 80, and I was just getting people who weren't max level, who didn't have good gear, who shouldn't be in level 80, and they were in level 80. And I just couldn't beat it because I was the only one doing like 300 billion damage, getting MVP, not dying. And it's just like I couldn't do anything because the people was pairing me with just either would not do enough damage, which I mean, at least those people are trying, right? There's people who go above their nightmare level, which I have done, but they're at least trying, and they're trying not to die, but they're just getting one shot and there's nothing really they could really do because their armor's trash. But then there's even worse kinds of people that will join a game at a higher difficulty, a higher nightmare difficulty, and then be AFK hoping that people will carry them through. And it's like, dude, this is my first time on this level, and you want me to carry you? Or like, I'm trying to get good gear and I'm trying to kill zombies and you're just not trying? It's so annoying. I've had long streaks where I won't win, or I won't be able to progress, or I won't be able to get as good of loot, is because it's pairing me with people who don't even want to play it. All in all, I think they switched from a skill-based system to a luck-based system. Before, the system was more of a roguelike, all-in-one system where you would level yourself outside of the game, and then inside the game, you can pick and choose, and you had control of how your character got built, and that's where the variety came in. Now, it seems like they put an armor system, and unless you have the perfect armor gear, you cannot progress. And I don't think putting all the skill or progression, or locking progression or completion behind gacha or like luck-based loot is unfun. It's a way to take away skill from characters. You can have two people of equal skill, but one person has level 60 like all S tier gear, and someone has level 40 gear. One with all like the S tier gear is going to just do better objectively every single time, even if they're the same exact skill. And that's where I have an issue. You're taking away the skill expression or the ability of like matching traits or abilities or card combinations, and you're instead replacing that with loot drops. So you can no longer pick your boost, you can no longer pick your speed, you can no longer pick the way you play. It's all going to be based off of the gear you get. So I think it reshapes the decision making that has to happen, or it completely removes the decision making from happening because you're not able to make the decisions you want to make or play the way you want to play. Before, I could just refresh and be like, okay, I want lifesteal, or oh, I want Ashen Waters, or oh, I want Giant Jeff. They don't even have the purple ones. They don't exist. There's a purple tab, but they don't exist. Like, the cards themselves don't exist. So, I don't know. I think I have a lot of issues. Like, I like the game. I like Blood Hunt, but the switch to armor just doesn't feel right. I don't enjoy it. I think it's a huge removal of skill and a change towards luck. I think it ruins the experience because I'm on level 80 and I'm just repeating level 80 over and over and over again, or like level 90 now. There's nothing other than grinding for scrap and then scrapping it and then forging something better, maybe hoping, and that's it. Is it just like other people got luckier than me? Other people just have a better build than me? It's like, I don't know. Before, it was more about like, oh, here's a build guide that you should be working towards. Here are the kinds of cards you should build to make sure you win every game. So as long as you're level 40 and you're invested in a few of these things, then you can probably win. Now, you see all the videos and they're just like, yeah, you're gonna have to have good armor, but once you get good armor, this is the build. Like, every build is gonna come with a caveat of, yes, you're gonna need good armor, or I beat level 130 and this is what you need. First, you need good armor. Like, everything is going to be like that. And that's how you know it's not going to be skill-based, because everyone is going to say, you need armor, you need armor, you need armor, you need armor. If you can't beat it without armor, then I don't think it's skill. It's all luck, because it's dependent on what you draw. And if it's draw-based, then it's luck-based, and it's taking the skill away. There is still expression, of course, in all your skills, but it's extremely minimized, because if your value is dependent on armor, not what your performance, then I think it takes away from the enjoyment of the game. But that's basically all my thoughts. It's like a 25-minute video of me ranting on this. I really have issues with how the blood hunt is going. I really don't like the armor. I left the Destiny community because I didn't want to grind for loot or be in a raid with people dependent on them and their armor and their armor ratings. I wanted to be solo and, you know, based on skill, and at the highest level skill, armor doesn't matter. But now it does, and the addition of that mattering, like, it holds me back, because now I'm limited to how good my armor is, not how good my skill is, and how good my skill expression is, or how good my positioning or planning or learning or memorization is. It's none of that. It's all armor. Like before, yes, it was still luck based, and I'm not gonna say that it wasn't. Getting the right cards, I did have to restart a few times, but never did I like not be able to beat it because of armor, or just like flat out for something that wasn't my fault, right? I think in previous system of zombies, if you didn't beat it, it was like 100% your fault. Now, if I beat it, it's not 100% my fault. Because if my armor just doesn't do enough damage, how is that my fault? If I'm not strong enough to do damage, how is that my fault? Before, with the Wanda fight, yes, there's times where you would die because you just didn't know what to do, or you would get trapped in the bubble, or, right, you didn't know what she did, and you weren't built all the way to sustain that damage. But you knew how to build to get that, right? You knew that you needed more damage reduction, or that you needed a certain amount of lifesteal. Now, you might know that you need that lifesteal, right? You might need a, like, 15% block rate. How are you going to guarantee you get that? How are you going to guarantee you get that? You can't. You could do maybe the traits, but the traits max out, so you only have 5 ways to block, and then what? Or you only have so many traits. They didn't even do level 100 or level 120, so you can get all the traits and have fun in a PvE game. They capped it at 60, so you still have to pick and choose, and they removed the cards. So, like, they really invested heavily in the armor system, but I don't know. I'm not the biggest fan of the armor system. I don't know if I'll keep playing zombies. Maybe after a little while, like maybe, I don't know, maybe I'll take a break from it and then get back to it, because my experience has not been that good. It has not been that fun. Like, maybe people like just aimlessly doing the same thing over and over and over and over again with zero reward. Like, maybe if there was a reward, right? If I was getting exotics, or if the level was jumping, or if my power creep was going crazy. But that's not happening. That doesn't happen. You get level 60, you get one item, and it's all like B or A, and then it's like you get items that are D, 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 B, D, 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 D. They don't do anything. They don't improve. They don't improve. They don't improve. They don't improve. And that's expected to be fun? To be given just trash for hours on end with no progress is supposed to be fun, right? And I forgot, yeah, if people leave too, like if someone leaves anywhere above 80, you're done. That's it. You're not winning that one. So it's like, I don't know, it's annoying. I enjoyed the base of it, and I kind of want the golden kingpin accessory, but honestly, I don't think I'm having fun in it anymore. Like, I was like, oh cool, there's this, I can maybe one shot, or I can get really good. But because it's all gear dependent, I don't want to grind for gear. If I'm gonna grind this game, I'd rather grind Black Cat or ranked or something else, because why would I grind that when it gives me nothing? It gives you nothing, you get nothing. It's the same experience basically over and over again. Like, it's cool that the map changes and the bosses changes, but it's still just 4 of the same things, and the zombies are a lot harder. I didn't even get into, like, the flying zombies are hella annoying. They dash forever. They could dash all the way across the map. So some of the basic zombies are still straight up annoying as well. But the vampires are a lot more annoying than the zombies were. Yeah, like, yes, the sentinels were a little annoying with their riot shields, but you can actually shoot the riot shields and then stun them, and then it was like GG's. Like, they couldn't do anything. But now they just have swords and they can fly, and you can't do anything about it. They just body you. So yeah, without armor, you're just garbage. And I don't know. I don't know if I want to put the time in necessarily, especially on stream, to grind that. It's not, or even grinding it isn't fun. I'm just like standing in one corner, just shooting, hoping, just shooting, going back and forth, shooting, going down, going back and forth, going back and forth. Like the gameplay has already gotten stale for me. So because they gutted all the cards and all the stuff that made it fun, I can't have fun with like the gear or the setups or the characters. Jeff is just throw a bubble and pop the bubble and shoot and hold R2. That's basically it. You do not like the pew pew. You just shoot and then that's it. There's also like no abilities to upgrade his Aqua Burst or include Aqua Burst, or like you can only build one specific route. You can't build like everything, because if you build everything, then you're taking away points from something else, and it's not even beneficial because now you have too many traits and too many things. I don't know. It just, I have a lot of issues with it. And yeah, I don't know. I just don't think it's that fun. Maybe I just don't like it anymore. It looking like it was going to be close to zombies, but then being like all armor reliant has really, really left a sour taste in my mouth. I don't really want to play a game or play a mode that's all armor based. But yeah, I don't know. Let me know if you guys feel that way as well. So yeah, those are my thoughts on Blood Hunt. I just don't think a system that favors modifiers over actual skill is a good direction. They purposely gutted the card system and traits, which makes leveling up and most traits completely useless after Nightmare 60. Your entire chance of winning past level 70 is based off of the RNG of your armor. The previous system was a self-contained roguelite. If you're max level with a decent build, anyone could win. Now, unless you have perfect gear, you literally cannot win. And honestly, a system that gives anyone a fair chance is objectively better than one where RNG becomes the barrier to entry. If you agree or disagree, let me know in the comments. If you learn anything or you feel any kind of way or want to support me, I'd really appreciate it. So feel free to follow me, subscribe, like the video, do all that stuff. I really appreciate it. But until then, I will see you all in the next one.